Hey guys, welcome back, and today we will be learning about how to graph functions. And this will be split into two videos because I know the first one that I made on functions, the basics, was pretty long. It was like 30 minutes long. So we're going to split this up into two or three videos. So first, graphing linear functions. Yes, let's start off with the basics if you don't remember that. Graphing linear functions. So f of x is equal to mx plus c. So that is your linear function right here. Yes. So first you identify your slope, which is m, and y intercept, which is your c. Yes, c m. So then after doing that, you plot your y intercept. This is very basic. Yes, and then use the slope. Use slope. Find other point and draw a straight line. Draw straight line. See, I don't even think I need to go through this if you're doing Maths AHL, but I still am, just in case. So 2x minus 1, let's take this example. So immediately you can tell over here, as soon as you plug in x is equal to 0 to find the y-intercept, you got y is equal to negative 1, so you find your y-intercept. Y is equal to 0, comma minus 1. Okay, and then you try to find your slope over here, and then you know your slope over here is 2, so you just do rise over run up to right 1. So you know your slope is 2, so up to right 1 to find the other point, which you can take as 1 comma 1, or you can just plug in any random point into the equation and get it, and then you just draw it on your graph, essentially. Relatively, not even relatively, it's extremely simple to do this. Then let's move on to something a little bit more complicated now. So we have graphing quadratic functions. This is where we talk about the parabola that I mentioned before. Parabola, love saying that. So quadratic functions. So quadratic functions. So f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So you find the vertex first off. So first to find your vertex, the vertex is the point, the turning point over here like this. This is your vertex over here. So you try to find that, and you do x is equal to minus b over 2a. So you take your b and you do that over 2a. And then that gives you your x value for your vertex. And then with that x value, you sub in x coordinate of vertex into equation to find vertex. Yes. So you get your x and y point over there. You find your roots. Find roots, which are your x intercepts. Intercepts. Your x intercepts. Find roots which are your x intercepts over here. So when you get f of x is equal to 0, that is your x intercept, and you find that, and then you plot that, and then you find your axis of symmetry through the vertex. So your axis of symmetry will be like, if your parabola is shaped like this, then your axis of symmetry, let's say your vertex is 0 comma 0, your axis of symmetry would be like this, because every parabola is pretty much symmetrical. So then after doing this, you find out that your axis of symmetry over here is y is equal to 0. So it's just basically x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So it's your x point is your axis of symmetry. And then you reflect it. Reflect the points you already know. And find graph. Yes. So parabolas are symmetric, so you have to use the axis of symmetry. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's simpler if you do. and then you just join it and then draw that iconic parabolic shape over there. So that's how you do parabolas. And then I think we'll do one more. One more. So we're going to do graphing. No, actually, I think we'll wind up for now. We'll wind up for now. We'll focus on it more in the next video.